the Empire State Building.
Z100, New York.
Just happy to have you here because you have some fans. You have a lot of fans.
I'm so happy to be here.
So we're gonna get into all that. Gigi Perez, a rising star in the indie folk music scene, known for her raw emotional storytelling and genre-bending sound. She's captivated audiences worldwide with your viral hit like Sailor Song, over 1 billion global streams, your growing fan base. You continue to push artistic boundaries, making you a standout voice in modern music.
That is a crazy description. That's insane. I did not know about the billion. I did not know that. That's insane. That's unreal. And yeah, I'm just really happy to be here. And Z100, like, it's awesome.
Well, yeah, because this is your home. You were born just across the river.
Yeah, I
and your
was.
family's here, and
Yeah. It all started here.
yeah, it did. And your early memories, your holidays coming back and forth,
Mhm.
and now you spend time here too. You had a day off here yesterday.
Yeah, so I do spend a decent amount of time here, and I just did a show with Girl in Red, which was a lot of fun because I got to see my family, and my family was selling, like my cousins were selling the merch, and it was really sweet and really fun, and got to see my friends and everything. So this is always like these are the shows that I feel like I look the most forward to because it feels like everyone comes together.
What were they saying?
They're just, it's so funny. Like I feel like they're so like my distant relatives and everyone. I think that I knew that things were like shifting a bit when, you know, people who were more distant in my family being like, I heard you on the radio, or this is my favorite radio station. You know what I mean? Like they're telling me things, or they're saying that they see me, or like, you know, younger cousins that are like at the middle school dance, like they were playing Sailor Song and all the girls were singing it. So that's really crazy. Like once it's hit my family, who I feel like we're all different people, you know what I mean? So if it's hitting them, I'm like, y'all live everywhere, so
Yeah.
it's crazy.
No, it's true because you're seeing your fans on your shows and you're seeing online, but then when it's
Right, because that's like your own little algorithm. That's like your own little world. So I don't know how to differentiate my little world from what's really happening out there. So that's like my barometer.
Well, yeah, hearing your little cousins say that your songs are playing at their dance, you're like, wait,
I know.
I would go to dances and I heard the cool songs at dances, and now
Yeah, it's very full circle in that way. Like, and I think that's the thing that makes it so special to me in having younger supporters.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that age is so special, and the music, like that music that you listen to at that time will impact you and change you. Like that's like the most formative time, or was for me. I feel like one of those artists was Lana Del Rey. I mean, I probably shouldn't have been listening to Lana at 12, but I was, and it changed me, and I'm better for it. And to be on the other side of that is, it's like healing. I don't know. It's just weird.
that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And who else were those people for you? Because me, it was like Fergie and
Yes!
obviously Britney. So it's like for
I was
you,
just
like
thinking about Fergie. Yeah,
right.
my humps. I was making. I was just thinking about it because we were making like, Girl in Red and I were just like messing around with like this really insane rap, like just like for fun, like warming up. It was kind of like the WAP but for lesbians. And
For lesbians.
and like I have like a line about my humps and Fergie. So yeah, Fergie was huge. And it just like Black Eyed Peas in general, like Don't Funk With My Heart. I love that song. That song changed me. I feel like that's like Sailor Song, like for sure.
I see the
I feel like they
parallels.
kind of like have the same communities.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think that was, Lana was really significant. Adele was very significant to me, and that was one of the first times I listened through to like a full album, and it was 21. And I would say Haley Kiyoko and Troye Sivan, like when I was learning about my sexuality and really struggling with that at that time in my life. It was very important to me because I didn't have, like, I think about like 2015, that time. I feel like gay media in general, like it was not how it is now. It was very, very limited. And so those two artists definitely, they were there for me, and I needed that. And I've been seeing similar things in messages. And I feel like when you grow up out of it and you experience life and you're no longer in that bubble, like, you know, being in the South and like that more conservative background. And I went away. I went to college. I spread my wings, and there was a lot of healing that happened over the past, 6-7 years of my life. And Sailor Song kind of made me turn around and look at, there's still a lot of kids out there that are struggling in ways, like, just because I made it through, there's so many people that like need that hand. And so to know that the music is doing that, like, that means a lot to me.
Wow. It's pretty cool to know that that song itself is the one that is blowing up for you, because you've put out projects before. I mean, you've been popping off, but the success right now of Sailor Song it's something very, very different.
It is. And I don't know. I think it was the right time in my life. I feel like, I don't know where things are going, and not in a way of, being directionless, but I think that I had a lot of expectations and what I wanted and what I thought being an artist meant, or my goals and those kinds of things. And I feel that that when things happen, it's in a time in my life where the most important thing to me are my relationships, and they're my community. And one of the ways that I communicate is through music, and I'm dedicated to that part of my life. But my life doesn't, I guess, depend on it the way I think when I started out in music and I put out a project and had expectations, and I don't know, I don't really feel those. I don't feel that that's the thing driving this right now. It just is going to be okay. Sailor Song is what it is. The next stuff is going to be what it is. I don't know. Let it all be its own thing.
It sounds like you're saying that at one time you based your entire existence and worth on like numbers or what people thought, but now you put this song out and you just want your community to feel what they need to feel.
Yeah, I think that, like, intrinsically, I've never felt that way, and I don't think, like, we're not designed to feel that way. Mm-hmm. I think when you're not supported, and when you are not in the right soil, not in the right community, you, like, there's like a literal, like, expectation to measure up, like, in the business itself. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that I was dealing with, because I personally never cared about that. Like, I never cared about, and that's not to say that you don't have dreams. I think it's natural for artists to want to connect with others and have a platform and get to have a concert or a show and, like, have people show up. Like, those are natural desires. But when you start getting into, like, the numbers and the charts and this and, like, that kind of stuff, or more of, like, how are other people looking at you, for me, I found it was because I felt pressure. Mm-hmm. And I knew that there was a like, I felt there was a sense of consequence to not follow up. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't intrinsic to me. That's not my nature, I guess.
Yeah, and when we're wrapping that in with your live performances, I mean, performing and touring with Girl in Red and these festivals where you're seeing seas of people sing your songs to you. How has that been?
Really, that's new. I've treasured the shows that I've had. You know, I've done a decent amount of tours, and there was always one person at least in the crowd that knew the songs.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
I always like clinged on to that and onto that person throughout, like, you know, my support slots that I would do, and like seeing that one person, and also knowing it's an opportunity for, you know, more people who might enjoy your music. And then there was a shift when Sailor Song came out, and I did a show at Hudson Yards, and it was just an acoustic set, and I was supporting this band called Beachweather, and I played Sailor Song last, I believe, but everybody was singing all of the songs that were out, you know, all the songs that I had been working on in the past year, where I recorded and produced them all like in my bedroom. It was very different, you know. I went from being in the first project, I was like in the studio, and that existed for what it was, and it was a lot of fun. But it was just different, and I was releasing independently, and everybody was singing that stuff. And then Sailor Song happens, and then it's like everything, like everybody erupts, and like it was just different. And then, you know, even just going out with Girl in Red, which was so much fun, and I love Marie. And seeing the crowd, they were singing my songs, not just Sailor Song, but again, when Sailor Song comes up, and like watching like everybody lock in, like you see them lock in with you. And I don't know, that's been really fun to just see. It's the living outside of you, because I feel it's this year, being when I was independent, it was enough, and I was just so happy, and I just was like having so much fun with the music, and I still am. But it's fun, like now there are just more of us that are enjoying that and like dancing together, which is new. And you know, I feel like, you know, maybe coming up on 5 years is like a short, it seems short, but it seems long at the same time when you're doing music. And this is the first time I feel like I'm really building a community. I'm not talking about building like something like massive. I'm just the sense, like a true sense of community, where I can have a show and people are singing the words, you know. And it's been like kind of like you know, quite a while of trying to, you know.
You've been hustling.
Yeah.
You've been putting in the work. You've been out. You've been meeting people. You've been opening shows for artists where the fans are all there for them. And then now people are showing up for you. And you said something right now where you said it's like bigger than me. It's like bigger than the song. I mean, I feel like the song is now a staple for people, like you said, when you needed a hand with what you were going through. Now that's for them. Or even Liam here said that he started playing the guitar because he saw you on TikTok, and he literally picked up and started learning the guitar because of you. So now that must be a crazy feeling too.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Like, it's just like, it means a lot. You know, I feel like I've just gone through some things. You know, I lost my sister, and that was and it is something I carry with every day of my life. And I think part of me placed a lot of responsibility on myself, because she was an opera singer, and she was the one who had the dream of being a musician, of being a singer. You know, that was hers, and she sung circles around me. I almost said a bad word, but she sung circles around me. And so I feel like there was this thing where like it is the way that I run into my grief and also run away. And so when I share things, and even like the contents of what Sailor Song is about, a lot of it is like informed by my struggle with faith. It feels just nice to have a community, that can be through music. Even if it wasn't through music, whether that was like a support group or something, that's what it feels like to me. Because I feel that grief is very lonely, and when you get to see somebody and you see them, they share their story, and suddenly they see you, and you're not alone. So that's what all of this means to me. And it's not just for grief itself. I think all of the different things that are touched, but that's one of the most important things will always be helping others process their grief. And that's important to me right now.
I didn't know that about your sister. That's heavy.
Yeah.
And then we see your music. I mean, the base of it, your indie folk with like dream pop, and then your deep emotional themes in there. That's a really vulnerable thing to be sharing about, because you just said that grief is very lonely because no one knows the situation. No one knows the relationship you had and like those deep feelings you have. But it's pretty cool to know that like you're living her, like she's living through you, like she's looking at you and seeing what you're doing. It's like, oh my God, I'm jealous, but also like so happy because this is how it was just meant to be for no one knows why, but like it's cool that you're living that.
Yeah, I think that as far as just being vulnerable about it, I think I don't know any other way to be. I don't know how to there's no way to ever act like it didn't leave a massive tear in my reality. Like I'll always feel I just will never be the same. And I don't like most people who went through some sort of loss close to them, they'll never be the same. And I think it's a very tricky period in your life, how you handle your grief. And this is like for people that are dealing with grief, and how you handle it is so important to who you're going to become. There's a lot of pressure in that. And when you don't have people that represent you and you don't have anything to look to, and it's not looking up to, and like that's the thing. I wanted somebody to look up to. I wanted somebody to see on a stage or somewhere talking about it, and I didn't find anybody. And it's not about looking up to somebody, it's looking at them. And there are not a lot of things that I feel very strongly that I know, and I'm deconstructing a lot of things that I think about, but I think like that I do know. And I know that I was not going to let what happened to me and what happened to my family go in vain. Because they're like, regardless if I never went through it, there are still millions of people who deal with it every day, even if you don't see them, even if you don't know them. You never know what people are going through. And yeah, it's just, we need to talk about it. That's what I want to do. So
yeah. And then we see that you are forming a really true connection with your fans online, on TikTok, the community that we're talking about that you built. And we know that's important to you because they're the ones that feel you. Like it's like a mutual, it's like they feel you, you feel them. So how do you go about keeping connected with them and finding that balance?
I think that it's different when there are more people in the chat, and you also have to like sift through a lot of misunderstanding of the things that you say. I think just naturally when anyone feels strongly about anything, or if you're going to talk about religion, or you're going to talk about God, or you're going to talk, it's always going to attract a lot of different people. But I think my relationship to those that support me or enjoy my music is even stronger. It's brought in a certain kind of compassion for each other. And I saw that when Sailor Song came out, and there was just controversy over a line in a song where I said, I don't believe in God. And I saw the people who were having these conversations about it were not only just saying that in a way of defending me, they were defending their own life experiences that led them to that point where they were struggling with their faith or whatever conclusion they came to. And so I feel that the basis of the connection comes from I see you, you see me, we're gonna protect each other. I'm gonna represent myself, of course, the way that I truly feel. I'm never gonna adopt someone else's feelings or make music because I think this is what somebody would like. It comes from the heart always, and I think that will always bring forward the most sincere connections. Yeah.
You've mentioned your dad's jazz background growing up and that being part of your journey and shaping how you are musically. How important is that?
Dad jazz. My dad, my dad was a barber.
He was a barber. Oh, okay. I don't know where I got that from then.
No, but you know what? I will say that I have to tell you a story because my mom connected somehow the Spotify Echo, like my personal account, to her Spotify Echo in the house. And so my whole like raps for this year and all this stuff ended up being like all of my music. And I'm like my number one artist. All my songs, top 5, they're all my own songs. The first song that like is really mine, because I can like still see like music I listen to. It's just so incredibly skewed. It's ridiculous. The whole point of what I'm saying, Frank Sinatra is my second artist because like we always play jazz in the house. So maybe that's it. But it's just crazy that my entire Spotify Wrapped is me, and that's so it feels just really underwhelming, but like very very sweet because I mean my parents, they support me. Like they literally played my music 24/7 in the house, you know. Like how sweet is that? Like they'll always just be listening to it like so much. Like I think the minutes were like absolutely insane on like Gigi Perez listening time.
That's so cool. I know your sister has a hand in that too. This is a funny prank.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, okay, well, I just wanted to see, but anyway, it was this band Bellanova, this song Rosa Pastel. That's actually my I knew it. That would be my number 1 song this year. So had it not been Sailor Song by me, it would have yeah.
Oh, so then you guys did grow up listening to like jazz and Frank Sinatra. And
yeah, like I think that I did jazz band in high school, so I was like I was the singer for it, and I did that my junior year, and that was a lot of fun. Like I did theater and all that kind of stuff, and I really loved Lady Gaga's jazz album, and that was like I remember like finding that my junior year and just feeling like the coolest person in the world. I'm like, nobody knows about this Lady Gaga jazz album, but I did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's so cool. And so how are you feeling now? I mean, is it easy for you to stay present? Is it tough? Do you feel like a lot of pressure, people asking you what's coming up next?
I don't know. I think that as far as staying present, I feel very present. Good. I think that the most important thing to remind myself is just kind of what is this week, you know? And then I think I was just going over things and getting ready for next year, what everything's going to look like. But I feel that I have time for myself, and that was an important point of just making sure that I have time for myself, because I feel the way that every artist is different, but I feel the way that I function the best is when I can also be, you know, with myself, or on a bike ride if I can, or just do things that make me, you know, feel like Gigi the person. Because ultimately, although I'm sharing things from my heart and they're the real experiences, you know, there is a certain, like, I get home and I want to just be me, you know.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Are you watching Netflix, YouTube? Are you a YouTuber? Do you like to game?
Oh, I love Sims.
You still play Sims?
Yeah, I love Sims.
Yes.
Yeah, Sims 2.
I used to go off on Sims.
Yes.
I used
love
to like
that.
build the hell. I used to torture the
Yeah, to
people.
torture the baby.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
baby.
please. That was no, no. I did not say that. No, but like in Sims, you can literally do anything. And actually, there was this one pack that came out that I want to play. It's called the Life and Death pack, and like it just looks so. That game is just crazy. I remember when I made a video for, I did a music video for it with a friend that I made through meeting in the Sims community. She's a Sims content creator, and she lives in the UK. And we would get together every week, and we would make the Sims music video together. It was so much fun.
Like a different one.
Yeah, no, it was like a Sims 2, and it was for the song "Please Be Rude," and I just did that for weeks and weeks. It was the most fun I've ever had. So I love Sims.
That's so fun. Do you just play on the computer? Or do you play on your phone?
I played on the computer, and then I used to play on the Xbox.
Yes.
Like the Sims Busting Out. Like I love Sims Busting Out. That one was so crazy. Like I feel like it lets you experience. Like I feel like it lets children. You know, I'm not sure if children should play it, but I was playing it as a child.
Me too.
Okay, like you could do things, but it was like within certain parameters. But a lot of it focused on like interpersonal relationships, and it's like all about building like identity and who you are. So like you're expressing and doing those things in a game. Like I didn't know another game that was doing that. So it was very formative to me. I love that. So Sims, I love Fortnite. I'm trying to think. I feel like Sims and Fortnite are like pretty much that, and then I do like playing like kind of like obstacle course stuff like on Fortnite. This is crazy that I'm saying this. I'm being honest. I love riding my bike. I love saunas, and I love tennis. Those are the things I do, and my dogs and drawing.
Are you good at tennis?
I would say like depends on who I'm playing, but I play my friend Mark, and it's always kind of like 50-50. I always play a better game than him, and sometimes he wins, which I just don't understand, because I genuinely like I keep the needle going in the freaking game. You know? I keep it going, but and I would say it's like 50-50. But I do love something about like a ball going back and forth. You know, it's fun.
That's cool. Those are good ways. Those are healthy ways to decompress.
Yes, we try to choose the healthy ones.
Do you have like a favorite Sims character that you created, or like a scenario, or like family?
I always like make myself. Like I make
Yes!
you know what I mean? Like I make myself. Actually, there was this one alien that I had when this was on, I believe it was Sims Bustin' Out. This one alien, I always give him a faux hawk, and his name was Dixon. And I always put him in the same outfit. Every time the aliens, like every time the Sims would die, I would just make him again. I would make Dixon again. Like
I have a connection with Dixon.
I know, and like I genuinely like I don't even know. I want to get that game again, but you need the like. I guess you could like get simulators. I don't think that's legal, and I don't know anything about like I'm not like deep like I don't know like one of my best friends Aiden, he's like super tech, probably figured out, but I'm gonna get the just original Xbox. Don't worry, I'm not gonna like I think all that stuff is actually very serious, so I don't know how to do it, so you don't have to worry, but like I don't know.
It's like gonna be top of your priority list to get that Xbox.
I
and
need
bust
to
it out
get the
again.
Xbox. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly gonna be it.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do like to wrap it up, going back to the artists that you say that made you and you were growing up with. This is sometimes a hard question for someone in your seat to answer, but if you could think of one artist that you would like to ask a question to, who would that artist be, and what would you ask them?
Oh.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive. So it's just like all time, like what would I ask them?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like I immediately would go I was always very fascinated by Jeff Buckley and his life.
Mm.
And it sounds like not a real question. And it would like, it's not simple, but I guess I just wanted to know like what made him the way he was as an artist, and leave it open to whatever he would say, because I feel like he was somebody that just, I don't know, it's like an intangible kind of thing.
Why were you always so interested in him?
I found him when I was 19, and my friend showed me a video, and I was just so deeply captivated. I never heard anyone sing like that.
Mhm.
And I guess that just always stuck with me. And I remember being in his car and we were talking about, it was like this specific video of him live in Chicago. And he was doing the song called Dream Brother. And the song was about, it was written to his best friend that I guess he was having a child with a woman, but I think something happened where he was going to leave. I don't know. I don't want to like mess up the story, but his father left him, I believe. And so the song itself was saying like, don't be like him.
Mm.
Like, don't be like the one who made me so old. Don't be like the one who left behind his name, because Tim Buckley was a country singer and he was a popular country singer. Cause he's waiting for you like I waited for mine and nobody ever came. And I don't know. I implore anybody like to just like look into. I think that he was somebody who artists truly love, and I think that it's like very special, everything around him. I don't know. Something about it just felt so incomplete to me in his life.
So you'd just love to hear more and hear him talk about that.
Yeah. Well, he passed away.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Yeah, rest in paradise. And now bringing it back to you, how does it feel to be Gigi Perez right now?
It feels it feels like there's a sense of purpose, and I think that I'm trying to figure out like what that is out. I think that I always felt, I don't know. I think that like, again, a lot of things are informed by my grief and informed by me trying to figure out my worldview, and then being able to have connection with others during this time where it feels that I'm supported as I'm doing really difficult work to unpack. Like outside of like being the artist, like what I do in my personal life is going to affect whatever is happening here. And so this is what everyone's seeing. And I think that the work that I'm doing now, everything that's happening out here, is kind of encouraging me even more to continue to do the work and the therapy and the unpacking. And so that feels just really meaningful to me. I feel that I'm really grateful for my family and the things that I do have, to be here. And yeah, I don't know. There's a sense of like life kind of doesn't feel real. And maybe, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I think that when I have a minute to sit here and you talk to me and we talk about it, and things aren't happening like I'm not like on like in the car or doing a show or something. I've been very contemplative of everything, which is kind of funny because I don't know if it ever kind of like looks funny, if that makes sense, but I really can't help it. And I think that I'm just allowing myself to, swim out a little bit, not get too far, don't get too lost. But I think that it's important to do it right now.
It's good to hear that the work you're doing on the inside, like you see it paying off because it's coming out now and it's being received really well. So that's really cool to see and to hear. And so now we're looking into the holidays. What does that look like for you and the fam?
Holidays, we're I'm gonna rest, sleep,
Yep.
watch TV,
Play Sims.
be with my dogs, bike ride, tennis. We're gonna make a lot of yummy food.
Yay.
I'm really excited for the ham this Christmas.
Good.
Like, I love that pineapple ham.
Right.
And then, yeah, like I feel like it's just, I'm going home in a few days and just, I'm gonna, probably gonna work on music, because even if like, I don't have it planned, but I never, making plans is weird. Like, I don't know, you can't plan, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, how do you plan? Like, whatever. It's like all new. Like, at the top of this year, I was just like, okay, I have nothing going on. I can't leave my house because I don't have money. So, because I was living in Brooklyn, and then, I left my label, and I was like, oh, crap, I gotta do something, But what I had to do is learn how to record and produce, and I was blessed to have my parents who were so supportive. They're like, okay, just lock in, girl. I know it's rough. We will, we'll make it work. And that it was like getting like 8 months in, and I had so much fun doing it. But I was like, I remember I was like looking online for like different kinds of tasks that I could do for people.
For money?
Yes, like music stuff, like children's book. And like, I would have actually loved to do that. Like, I think anything that involves music, pretty much. I was writing a song for these two little girls, I don't even know. I feel like they're probably going to see this and be like, I don't even know what happened to that. Like, Sailor Song happened, everybody. Like,
Yeah,
just disappeared.
everything, yeah.
Like, but, and that was really fun, and they were sweet, and they had incredible voices. And I was like, okay, I'm writing songs for children. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I think that was such like an interesting period. But at that time, there was no schedule. Now I have a schedule and like building one. So I don't think anything about the last 5 years of my life have been stable. And I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
You are.
So,
You're breathing. You look good. Your skin is glowing.
Thank
You're
you.
killing it.
Thanks so much.
Well, again, thank you so much for hanging out. Congratulations on everything. We're so honored to have you
Thank you.
here and back home. And you're always part of the family whenever you want to stop by again.
Thanks
okay?
so much.
All
That means
love,
a lot.
Gigi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
From the top of the Empire State Building.
C100.